never.
Yes, you did. You guys have been talking for weeks and weeks about how this is God's will, that you guys get together and marry. It's all God's will. It's almost every conversation of every day about how killing your husband and you.
This is Sabrina Limon, and on the afternoon her husband Robert was shot and killed at the railway shop where he worked. She told her boyfriend exactly where to find him. What Sabrina does not yet know, for weeks, every phone call between her and that boyfriend has been recorded.
We've been listening to you guys for a while, Sabrina. And I know Detective Meyer is trying his best to get you to tell us the truth. And you have been doing that. Jonathan was arrested the same time you were. We just got him done and got him to jail. And there's a great many questions that we need to have you answer for us. Okay?
Okay.
Tell me what I think when your secret boyfriend finds out exactly where your husband is in a different county, 2.5 hours away, drives up here and kills him. What do I think? And God sees everything and knows everything. What did God see the day Rob got killed? Same thing we saw. His motorcycle, Jonathan's motorcycle leaving the crime scene. Okay? I mean, who's he think he's fooling? Who are you guys fooling here?
For the next 3 hours, Sabrina Limon will insist she is innocent. She does not know that the man who rode that motorcycle is in the next room right now, and he is talking. Before we walk into that interrogation room, meet Robert Limon. Everyone who knew him called him Rob. He was 38 years old, a journeyman mechanic for BNSF Railway, based out of the small yard at Tehachapi, up in the mountains east of Bakersfield. The kind of man his co-workers described as strong, physically strong, the kind you notice, and quiet with it. 2 young children at home, a wife of 17 years. A house in Silver Lakes he built up piece by piece on the money he brought in from long shifts on the line. On Saturday morning, August 16, 2014, Rob got a phone call. His crew needed a hand, covering an overtime shift the next day at the Tehachapi shop, a 2.5-hour drive from his front door. He took it. That is who Rob Limon was. If the shift needed covering, Rob covered it. Sunday, August 17, 2014. Rob Limon arrives at the BNSF Railway shop in Tehachapi in the early afternoon. The building sits inside a locked, fenced industrial yard tucked against the base of the mountains. To find it, you have to know exactly where it is. You do not drive past it. You do not stumble into it. You have to be told where to go. Sometime that afternoon, a man on a motorcycle rides up the access road, waits, and enters the shop, while Rob is inside working alone. There is a struggle. Rob Limon, the physically strong man his co-workers described, is shot twice. He dies on the floor of the shop, next to an open refrigerator with a bottle of Gatorade beside him. The killer leaves on the motorcycle. Nobody sees his face. Detectives from the Kern County Sheriff's Office pull surveillance from a gas station a few miles from the yard. On the video, a motorcycle passes, first heading toward the shop, then heading back the other way, roughly matching the time of the shooting. The rider's face is covered. The bike is distinctive. That footage becomes the first thread the investigation has to pull. 3 months later, Wednesday, November 19, 2014, Rob's wife, Sabrina Limon, is picked up outside her home by deputies as she is leaving to collect her children from school. She has read her rights. She invokes the right to an attorney. She is transported to the Kern County Sheriff's headquarters in Bakersfield. And then she changes her mind. She tells deputies she will speak with Detective Randall Meyer, the lead investigator on her husband's murder, without a lawyer present. What follows is the recording you are about to watch.
As you know, we record our conversations, okay?
Sorry for not being honest with you, Detective Randall.
It's okay, give me a second here, okay? Just 1 second, okay? 'Okay, let me get this going.
9 words in, and Sabrina Limon has already conceded, on her own, that she has not been honest in prior conversations with this detective. Notice what she does not do. She does not ask what she is here for. She does not ask about the arrest outside her house. Her opening move is an apology for lies she has told before this recording started.
Detective by ID number 410301. This is case number SR1421701. I'm at headquarters with Sabrina Limon regarding this case. So I need to go over a couple things with you real quick, okay? So earlier, you were out at your house and you were going to the school and you were detained by some deputies, correct? Okay. Once those deputies basically read your rights, your Miranda warning, you decided you wanted to talk to an attorney, correct? That's what you told them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt overwhelmed and...
Overwhelmed, okay. Now, so at that point in time, they transported you to headquarters, or I'm sorry, to the jail, and I did have a chance to speak to you at the jail, and I need to basically put it on the record that I didn't force you to come here, that you came here because you decided you wanted to talk to me, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I need to read your rights again. Okay, this is standard procedure of what we do, okay? You have the right to remain silent, do you understand?
Yes.
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 Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court, do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right to the presence of an attorney before and during any questioning, do you understand?
Yes.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you free of charge before any questioning if you want, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So just to make it clear, I didn't force you to come here, I haven't forced you to talk to me. You decided you want to talk to me freely and voluntarily, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Detective Meyer is not repeating the Miranda warning because the law requires it a second time. He is repeating it because he needs the recording to show, on tape, that Sabrina waived her rights of her own choice, after invoking a lawyer earlier the same day and then reversing course. That is the tape a defense attorney will one day try to suppress. Meyer is closing that door before he opens any others.
Obviously, when this type of stuff happens, we write lots of search warrants and do lots of investigative work, and which I have done in this case. Okay, I do have a search warrant to obtain your DNA and to obtain your fingerprints and stuff. Okay.
Okay.
The DNA is just done by a swab. Basically, I'll have somebody swab. She'll take pictures of you. We'll do it right here. It won't be in public. Okay. And then she'll just swab the inside of your mouth and get a little DNA out of it, and we'll use that obviously to cross-reference that stuff in the system. Okay. So she's coming over now to do that.
So to put me in the system.
I'm sorry?
To put me in.
No. We will use that DNA. It's not going to go in the system. Okay. Let me rephrase that. We will use that DNA to eliminate the other people at the scene and that type of stuff. Okay. So that's all it's going to be. It's just going to be used to eliminate you from the scene, okay? Which we know you weren't there, okay? All right? Okay, so let me see if she's here, and we'll get that going real quick, and then we can just start talking, all right? Is Jackie here? Can you let me know when she gets here? Okay, thank you. She's not here yet, so we can get started, and then we can just stop whenever whenever she gets here. Okay.
Listen to that exchange again. Sabrina hears the word DNA, and her first response is, to put me in the system. Not, what did you find? Not, what is the DNA being compared to? The reflex is defensive. She is worried about being logged in a database, not about what a comparison might reveal. Meyer walks her back from it, but the reaction is already on tape.
Okay. So we've had multiple conversations up to this date, and today is the 19th of November, and it's about 4:45. Okay, so I know that through this investigation there's been several times when you haven't been honest with me, and we need to get to the honesty right now, okay?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I understand you were probably upset and scared, and you didn't know what to say. So, I know a lot of information, and I can't give this information out, obviously through the investigation, because I do not want that to be revealed, okay? So I know tons of stuff about all of this that's gone on, and I want you to tell me the truth, okay? I need the truth, okay?
Okay.
So let's start out with, okay, so everything, so your marriage, did you lie about any of the, being married to Robert? You met him when you were 18, you guys lived in Prescott, moved to Cal, you did that?
No, that's true.
Okay, so then let's talk about when you started working at Costco. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
Was there for almost 3 years.
And do you remember when you started working there?
It was, I believe November of 2012.
Okay. November 2012. So a couple years ago. Okay. So tell me about it. What did you do there?
I was a demo girl. The
Okay.
samples.
So you do set up the samples and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. And did you actually work for Costco or work for an independent person?
It was an independent company contracted through Costco.
Okay. And so this company would hire you you were hired pretty much, will you work full-time or part-time?
Part-time.
Okay. So you're working part-time, doing the sampling stuff, which I actually always feel really guilty when I grab a sample up at Costco. I'm like, anyway, they're good samples, but anyway.
Yeah, no idea how people come there and eat lunch every day.
Well, that's awesome.
For
So,
the samples.
his sample at the lunch, yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand you met Jonathan there. And how'd that go? Talk about when you guys first met.
When we first met, it started, he was wearing a firefighter shirt, and I know other firemen, so I'm a people person, so I started talking, and then he came in there all the time. I saw him all the time in Costco.
What was he doing in there?
Shopping.
Shopping? For the fire department?
He'd shop for the fire department and just shopping.
Okay.
Costco shopping.
So you guys ended up becoming friendly? Okay. Mm-hmm. And when did you meet him? So you started in November. At what point do you think you met him?
I don't know. Did I start before November then? Because I want to say I met him in, was it December of 2012? I am being honest, I'm bad with dates.
Okay.
So I can't think of exactly when I had met him, but I'd been working there a little while, so it had to have been maybe into the next year then.
Okay.
Because I'd been there a little while.
So maybe early
Probably
2013?
Yeah.
Okay. And so it started out by him coming and getting samples from you, and you guys just started up a normal conversation. What kind of conversations did you guys have? Just basic stuff like, hey, where do you work at? This stuff.
Yeah.
What else?
Just, fire department stuff, just like his calls and you know, like I said, I'm a people person. I mean, I talk to a lot of people for hours in there, believe it or not. Some people come in there just for the demo girls to talk,
Oh,
you know, and so just fire department stuff, you know, like what's your best call, you know, that kind of a thing, and then just kind of kept talking.
What other stuff did you guys talk about?
Life and just, well, if we're going back to him, there was other party that we were going to, and it was actually other it was friends of friends of friends. Okay, so our friends were having a party,
Oh,
and
okay.
they were fire department people.
Oh.
And so that's what started it. I mean, that's how I gave him my phone number, and I said, oh, do you know this couple? And he said, oh yeah, I think so. Like, are you going to that party, kind of thing? And then he's like, well, maybe I'll see you there. Like, what's your number? And I had never given out my number to like a stranger before, and I did. I instantly like felt guilty, like, oh my gosh. And I had thought prior to that I had mentioned Robert, you know, and I always do. That's like my protection, especially with other, you know, men. You
Yeah.
know, like I always brought up Robert right away. So I'd never done that before, and I felt bad. And but then he called and messaged me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I got myself into, so I didn't answer it or respond. And he apologized. He was like, are you married? I'm so sorry. And then I put, yeah, I thought that you knew that. It's no problem. It's okay. And that's how that started.
Okay. So you gave me your phone number. And you guys had never talked about you being married? Because you guys...
Watch the shape of the story Sabrina is building. She meets Jonathan Hearn at Costco. She gives him her number. She frames this as innocent, as her being a social, open, friendly person. Meanwhile, at every step, she volunteers that she felt bad, that Rob was her protection, that she always brought Rob up. She is narrating her own guilt while denying the guilty act. Detective Meyer is not challenging her. He is letting her build.
So, he was pretty secure, and he wasn't an insecure type. And how often did he come into the Costco?
Came in quite a bit.
In Victorville? Like quite a bit, like as in once a week, twice a week?
Twice, 3 times a week maybe.
Man, I go to Costco once in a month and I'm like, you know. So, okay. He was there obviously to see you. He wanted to talk to you. So after you gave him the phone number for the first time, and he knew that you were married, how much did you guys talk after that? How frequently?
It wasn't a lot in the beginning, you know, and then we just started talking a lot more, a lot more, a lot more.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Now
we formed a relationship.
Okay. We're talking in person and on the phone and stuff like that. How about any meetings after work? Did you ever meet with him after work?
I would see him, yeah.
Okay.
But just for short, you know, just. So a lot of times he'd come in later and then end up like walking out with me, kind of thing.
Okay.
So.
Now, so he would come visit you, you guys would talk there, and then he'd walk you out to the car or whatever. So, at what point did it become a sexual relationship?
Like a year later. So we talked for.
So 2014? So this year?
Well, before that.
If you met him in 2013.
Probably, let's say, talked for like, I am honestly super bad with time and dates.
Okay.
Let's say, let's just round about 8 months maybe, or 6 months or something like that. Like
Okay.
it wasn't right away, anything like that, you know. It was
She's here real quick. We'll do this real quick and then we'll finish there.
okay.
Give me 1 second. This is our technical investigator.
Hi.
She's gonna do stuff that I don't know how to do, so I'll let her do that stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna just take an ID photo real quick.
None of this is intrusive. It's very simple stuff. Okay.
Okay, sir. 21701?
What are we talking about?
2171, okay.
Oh yeah, 21701. Excuse me.
Today's the 18th?
19.
19th, oh. Okay. Just hold this up into your chin like that, and I'm just gonna take an ID photo. Okay. Okay, do you want overalls too, or no?
No, I don't think we need it.
Okay, it's just an ID photo.
Want me to move all my junk?
No, you're fine.
Meyer paused the questioning at the exact moment Sabrina was about to walk through the sexual side of the relationship. That is not accidental. Interrupting the flow with a physical procedure, the swab, the ID photo, lets him restart the topic on his own terms when he is ready, and it gives him a live body sample of Sabrina's DNA before she can consider what refusing it might have meant. She never refuses.
I wrote a little note so I remember where we were at.
Okay.
So you said it is about 8 months to a year, and then
Maybe 6 months.
I'm sorry.
Maybe 6 months.
Maybe 6 months?
Something like that. You know.
Okay, and so that's when it started to become a sexual relationship. Did you guys have that relationship at your house, or was it at Costco, or was it at a motel?
It was at our house and sometimes, you know, wherever.
Okay. And how often do you guys meet up?
A couple times a week, probably.
Okay. And so this was 6 months after.
Depending.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes not. Sometimes like once a week or
Just depending on what was happening.
just yeah.
Okay. So this was 6 months after you met, or okay. So if you met in maybe early 2013, I'm sorry, 2014 this year, right? Or was it?
No, it's been over a year. So
Okay.
probably like a year and a half time.
Because at the end of 2012 is right when you think you met him, or early 2013. Okay. So mid 2013. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, basic friendship relationship, sexual relationship, maybe once or twice a week, and then so. I mean, obviously this relationship goes on and on. You guys talk about all kinds of stuff, right? Tell me about, did Rob ever suspect anything?
No, Robert had found my phone.
Tell me about that.
and he wasn't, you know, he's like, who's this dude? And he'd seen him out once before. He'd only met him once. So he was just like, you know, what's up? How did this go down? And I just kind of told him, like, I don't know. It just happened. And Jonathan apologized to Robert. Talked to him. He apologized to him. And we felt bad, you know. And I felt bad. And Rob and I just kind of kept going, you know. And Jonathan and I stopped talking. And then I saw him in Costco probably, like, let's say 3 months later. Something like that. And honestly, detective, like, I'm so bad with time, it could have been give or take, or, you know, but it was a little while, and I hadn't seen him.
When did Rob find out, and do you remember when it was, what month it was? Or about what time? So this is going to be in 2013 he found out, right? Okay.
June.
In June of 2013? And what happened that day? And how did you, when he found out about it? What was going on?
He was going to have the next day off. We had been out the night before, and I kind of had too much to drink.
Oh.
And I wasn't paying attention to my phone. So we'd been out the night before, and he'd already taken the next day off, and he just kind of, like, we had, I hate talking about this. This is why I didn't. I know. Like, Rob and I just had sex. Like, he kind of, like, forgave me. It was kind of like okay. And he'd ask me questions, you know, and I just kind of would answer them as he asked, but then we didn't talk about it. He didn't like problems, you know.
Now, when he asked you this question, did you tell him the truth, or did you just tell him a little bit of information?
A little bit, not in, like, detail, but I would answer his questions, you know. And I seriously didn't. I was just like, I don't know how it happened, you know. Like I did tell you, you know, we were distracted with so many things, friends and partying, and we have had open relationships, you know. I threw that at him, you know, so this was prior, and parties and just kind of like that kind of a lifestyle, more like. Now the kids weren't exposed to that firsthand. They were they were exposed to me drinking, you know, like too much. Mom's sleeping, doesn't feel good, kind of thing.
Right.
So.
Kind of, we've talked about your open relationship before, and you told me you didn't have one.
I was ready, and I didn't want any of this to come out, you know.
Did you think this would ever come out?
I was, I've been tripping, you know.
Okay.
It's shameful. It's terrible. And I'm feeling it.
Right. I understand. Did you guys have open relationships, such as you would meet other people at parties and stuff and have sexual encounters? Or was it, okay, was? Okay.
And that was just kind of like a Rob and I thing we had years ago. There was this couple, and that's where it started. We'd never done anything like that,
right.
You know? And we were new to Silver Lakes. Robbie was in kindergarten. And man, we met this kooky couple. I mean, the chick for sure, the woman, and but I am a people person. So is Robert, and that was just a crazy experience with her and her husband.
What are their names?
Nicole and Jill.
Oh, okay.
Had you heard about them or no?
No.
Well, they lived out there, so Robbie was in kindergarten, and he's 11 now, so.
Oh, wow, okay.
But that's where the door opened, and Robert was, I hate to talk about him, Ellie, you know, because I don't want to dishonor him. I feel like this is such a dishonor to him. But
He was a man.
yeah, so he was all about it, you know, to the end of the, like, whatever we had to do. And this went on, and oh my gosh, I never had such troubles, you know. And
Sabrina says, I hate talking about this. This is why I didn't. Consider what she just admitted, in one sentence, without prompting. She just told Meyer she has been withholding this from him in every prior conversation. Not because she forgot, because it was uncomfortable. She is telling him, on tape, that discomfort is her threshold for lying to a homicide detective.
so,
Did you know of him having any other relationships, like outside of your marriage, without you knowing?
no, she was one that, you know,
Okay.
she was the only one that I knew. That's why I was wondering too if there was,
And I was honest with you. I don't know of any other relationships. Okay.
Okay.
So did you think it would be okay, I mean, with Rob, if you were seeing Jonathan, because, you know, you guys kind of had that open relationship? Or did you feel...
I guess that's how I justified it, you know?
Okay.
It's kind of like I was just feeling like my own thing, and he was so busy, and he was a just worker and people pleaser and party and not wanting anything to be amiss, even though by the end, you know, I just talked to him. We have to kind of refocus some things, and he wasn't. Now Robert would have done anything, you know, as far as in the moment, just no problems, you know. He didn't like me to be upset.
Oh. Okay.
So, and I didn't get upset a lot at him because he just kind of let me get away with quite a bit, and it was kind of like the leash, you know. He'd let my leash out, and then I'd run down the street, and then he'd kind of choke it out.
Kind of
Yeah.
Let the button go and pull you back a little bit. Okay. So this relationship with Jonathan just kind of progressed, huh? Started out with just casual talking to giving the phone number, and then to the sexual stuff. Okay.
Into an actual affair, and
Sure.
in my head, really, I mean, after talking to your partner on the way over, it's just like when the other three guys, like, they had me, it felt different, like, well, no, but like when he was saying it, it's just like, man, what a web, you know. I'm
Yeah.
spun in.
And it happens, and it easily happens.
I have such a good family. I'm like, it's just like, I can't believe this happened.
Right.
And then, like, to think that, like, that is who I brought around and have had around, and I just, wow, you know, I mean, we got deep. We got deep.
You and Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob's going to work, and then he's working overtime shifts and stuff, and Jonathan would be at your house
Sometimes. I
late
mean,
at night when the kids were sleeping or whatever.
not always, or yeah, if they were gone.
Okay.
Not always. I mean, I didn't want to. My kids, I love them so much, Detective Meyer.
Right.
I didn't want to. but once is once too many, you know?
So Jonathan, what did you learn about Jonathan while you guys were dating?
A lot. I mean, you know, say, you know, I did. I fell in love with him, you know. A lot of things I learned about him. Lots. What do you want to know?
This is everything.
Well, he was like no one I'd ever met before. Very different than the social group that, you know, we were. Smart guy. Really. He's a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up really religious in a family of 6. Like super, he was homeschooled. And that's a whole different, I'm just finding out the depth of like how you know, obviously different, that's a whole nother lifestyle.
Sure.
Completely.
It's definitely different with the schooling and kind of the separation from general public type things, going to a, you know, being homeschooled, you don't get a lot of exposure, you know.
Just everything is so different.
And were you attracted to that?
Apparently, yeah. I mean, yeah. There was just something that was just really, and I mean, I saw things that, you know, there were times where I would just pull back the reins and like, hey, you know, it's, I have my family and I'm doing my thing, and you know, you're doing your thing, so, and we would end up colliding again, you know. And not all, you know, it wasn't just like the sexual, like, let's meet over here. It wasn't like that. Like there was a, you know, and so,
Huh. Okay. Did Rob say anything to you after Jonathan talked to him?
not a whole lot.
Okay.
He's just like, it's cool.
He said it was cool to you or cool to Jonathan?
To both of us. Jonathan wanted to meet with him.
Did they meet?
Mm-mm.
No?
Robert didn't want to
Just
meet.
over the phone? When do you think that phone conversation happened?
What do you think it?
Do you know when it happened?
Oh, when it happened. Gosh, I'm so sorry. Like honestly, my brain, I can't even.
That actually helps sometimes if you squint your eyes really tight.
Yeah, especially me. I just like try to think of like people's birthdays or like something to tie in like.
So let's think about when he found out about Jonathan, when Rob found out about Jonathan. About 6 months after you guys were talking. Is that about the time when he found the phone and all? Is that about the time they had their conversation? Okay.
Let's say yes. I mean seriously, I don't even know.
All right.
Let's say yes.
Okay. Okay, so the relationship continues, you guys are seeing each other. Did you ever think about maybe getting divorced for Rob? Or did he ever talk to you about the divorce?
Who?
Jonathan. About like trying to encourage you to get divorced or anything like that?
We had talked about divorce. I would say within like the past, let's say, 4 or 5 months maybe.
You and Jonathan, or you and Robert? Have you and Robert ever discussed divorce before?
Yes.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Before, like within, you know, but it was like partying, too much drinking, kind of thing, you know, and then Rob, it'd be all good the next day, you know?
Yeah. You said Rob didn't drink a whole lot, huh?
Not as much as I did. He liked to party, but he would definitely be one with at least with some wits about him.
Okay. Can you tell me what you and Jonathan's conversations, what you guys talked about when you were talking about divorce?
It's kind of like how, you know, how tough it is, you know, in the beginning, but, you know, in the end, kind of, you know, it plays out to be, you know, people do it every day kind of thing, you know.
And what is Jonathan's take on divorce? Because we know he's very religious. Did he feel it was okay?
No, I mean, he would say it's, you know, it's not what God wants, but people do it every day kind of thing, you know, so I think we kind of played with the thought more than like, you know, he was gonna have a house built. So like he had these plans, but they were like future, so we just kind of talk about just like more, nothing like tomorrow kind of a thing, you know, nothing like, well, in the next 6 months when you're divorced or when, you know, kind of thing. So we were just kind of rolling the dice there. I mean, like playing the, you know. And then we had gotten a burner phone to talk on.
I know.
I know your guys ripped me up, man. I didn't know what to, I couldn't even feel. I was just like, whoa, like what do I do? What do I say? Because it's shameful and Rob's gone, you know, and I have to live with that.
Right.
And it freaks me out, you know, like
It's kind of crazy.
way crazy.
What do you think about the burner phone? Who introduced the burner phone? Whose idea?
Jonathan got it for me. I mean, I'll take I don't, you know, both of ours.
Who paid for the minutes and stuff on it all the time? The phone? Where'd you hide it at and keep it hidden from Rob?
Just kind of like in the drawers and
Okay.
had a basket.
Oh.
I know that's terrible, Randall. That's terrible.
I know. So once this burner phone comes into play, did you feel guilty about having it? Shameful? Anything?
There would be moments of feeling bad, yeah. And Rob and I would go do everything together. So, like, in moments, just him and I, which we did everything together, but we had the kids with us. So, like, when it was, or always friends, always. So, and always drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was just him and I, there were times where like I kind of tried to be a little more honest. I'm not saying like, here's the deal, you know. But I mean, he was aware of, you know. things not being quite perfect
Sure.
and me being distracted, but he was also distracted, you know? I'm not blaming
Yeah.
him.
What was he distracted with?
He was distracted with everything.
Oh.
I know he didn't like to get on websites. He was distracted with his phone a lot. People. Just, he worked a lot.
And then you were distracted with Jonathan, with the thought of that relationship continuing and growing and all that stuff.
I was just living in it, you know. It was just kind of like juggling it, you know.
Did it feel like that 8th grade high school love, like you felt when you first met Rob?
You know, I'd been with Rob for so long, and we were just like buds, you know. Where, you know, to where this was different, totally different.
Who introduced the idea of Jonathan meeting up with Rob?
Meeting up with him.
Yeah.
When they talked that time.
Yeah.
Jonathan wanted to meet him.
What was he going to tell him?
He did tell me. He was just gonna apologize to him, man to man. That's what he had said. And he sincerely felt bad. Like he felt bad. Sorry.
It's okay. I actually, I bought those for you. Okay.
And
You can use the whole package if you like. There's 100 of them in there, and so I think they'll be good for a little while. So you said that they never met, right? They never had an actual meeting?
we had gone out one time, and it was just like a huge group of people that were going out.
That was going to be
Buffalo.
the March Madness.
Mhm.
I know all about it.
That's the time.
I've read all about it. I know, everything all about it.
So you know me.
I know everything. I've lived your life for the last 3 months.
Oh gosh.
That's why you can't lie to me. I know all this stuff. So it's better just to be honest with you.
You say it's so cute. The other guys were a little rougher, so
Okay.
I
I have a different personality than most. So I feel like I know you intimately, and I mean I know so much about your life and everything, and Rob's life, and just all your friends. But so they met at March Madness at the bar, and I actually have a picture with everybody in it, and Jonathan's in the picture. So I want to talk about moving forward just a little bit, because that March Madness was this year, right?
I worked in my brain. It's like it doesn't. The circuits don't connect.
Okay.
Like you tell me, detective,
Okay.
because sure.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
All right. How did you and Jonathan? So were you actually talking about getting divorced and you guys being together? Did you guys make a decision to do that, and were you moving forward, or no?
We talked about it, and we were living. It wasn't like I said. There were no dates, or there was no. He was going to build a house and kind of establish himself, for sure.
He's a youngster, huh? How old is he?
25.
25. Okay.
Which I know, I'm not. Now, what kind of a girl can I really even say that I honestly am, besides a mess? But I am not one of those that like, oh, look at that young guy, The girls, you have a friend who, she'll be 40 and she was just dating a 20-year-old and she has a daughter who's
I'm
20.
not judging.
And
I'm
we're
not
like,
judging.
well, we kind of were just like, but he was such a, we were like, what is going on here? This is just, you know, hey, and I drink through it and I tried to make him feel comfortable, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd listen to Sublime and like try to be 20 again with him, you know, but no, Jonathan was different. He was not, oh my gosh, he's like an old soul
Okay.
kind of thing, you know, so.
Young kid at heart, but he probably, because he was
I admired
homeschooled,
him.
he was a lot around his parents and stuff, and so they probably brought him up differently than what you would if you were going to a general public school. I'm not judging you for dating a 25-year-old.
I understand. I'm just saying that like that wouldn't be one thing. Like I wasn't after anything. I didn't even know I was looking. I didn't even know it was actually possible, you know, just because Rob and I had a good marriage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean as far as we did. I mean really we did. There were some things that we allowed in that I feel damaged us. And I would tell him that, and he wouldn't hear of it.
So let's talk about maybe a couple months prior to Rob's death.
Okay.
How did you and Jonathan talk about this?
We'll talk about his what?
About his death?
We didn't talk about his death.
Okay. You guys didn't talk about it at all?
We would, no, we talked about, you know, divorce and, I mean, like if anything was to happen to Robert, you know, not gunshots, not that.
I noticed there was a bunch of conversations, obviously before Rob was murdered, during and after he got murdered. How did Jonathan know that Rob was going to be working in Tehachapi?
Well, he wasn't supposed to be working in Tehachapi, but I did tell him.
Okay.
But, I mean, I would tell him, you know, kind of like, I would tell him his schedule, you know. I would tell him, I'd even give him dates and stuff like that, because his schedule was crazy too. And then if it was times where, like, it didn't work out for us to get together, you know, but I kept him posted pretty much.
Now, I noticed before, when Rob left for work the morning, let's talk about the 17th, okay? Rob left for work in the morning, and I noticed that you had an 80-minute conversation with Jonathan. What do you guys talk about?
Talked about church, I believe, and he had worked, and he was pretty thrashed from work. But what he was gonna do that day, we'd even talked about seeing each other, but I was getting the kids ready for school, and it was just not gonna work out. And I think even maybe, and I don't know, other days Rob was gonna work, because he wasn't supposed to work that day.
Yeah. So did you guys talk about Rob going to work, and then you're getting the kids ready for school and all that drama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had told him, but like I said, we were possibly gonna get together, but he was doing other stuff, and I had been at work for, I think, days prior, like 3 days or something like that.
Well, as a fireman, they really don't work, but they sit on the couch, they play a little Xbox, shine the truck, mow the lawn, cook dinner, you know. They got all that kind of stuff going on, but anyway.
I know he did say he was pretty, he was pretty thrashed.
For a 26-year-old, come on. He's got more energy than that.
I remember him being tired,
Okay.
not
So,
feeling good.
did he tell you that he was going to go talk with Rob that day? Nothing at all?
Nothing at all.
No indication that he was going to go see Rob?
No.
Okay.
None.
After your guys' 80-minute conversation that ended at afternoon, you would text him. You texted Jonathan seven different times with no response back. He didn't text you back. What were you thinking?
He was sleeping.
That's
Did
what,
I?
that's what you thought he was doing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Did I put that? I don't remember.
I don't. So, after the 7 messages, it was late in the evening. Rob wasn't showing up at home, and you called and talked to Jonathan. He finally texted you back and then called you. What did you guys talk about?
He said he was sorry that
For what?
he'd been sleeping and he missed my calls. And we just talked about, I don't even remember what we talked about, but I said Rob's not home yet. And I was kind of looking out for Rob and trying to get the kids together. So it was just kind of like typical, you know. He didn't. And I even tried calling him back, I remember one time, just quick, because Rob still wasn't home.
Did he seem to act normal?
Yeah, he said he was really sorry for not being around. He feels bad for missing my calls.
7.
But 7?
7 phone calls, or 7 text messages you sent him. What were you going to say? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I don't remember.
So he was sorry for missing your phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty common for you guys to, as soon as a text message goes, there's usually a message right back pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah, I mean, not like a whole, like not like 5 hours or something.
Yeah, it's not going to be 5 hours. It's usually pretty quickly. So he seemed pretty normal?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he give you any indication that he may have gone and saw Rob or talked to Rob or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
not at all.
He did go see Rob. And I think now you probably know that.
It's so hard for me.
I know.
That's unbelievable to me. Like, I seriously would feel like there's no way that he'd be capable of that.
How come?
I just feel like he would never want to lose it. I mean, just like, I can't imagine that, you know? I just didn't think he could do something like that, you know? So in that video, in the picture you sent me, that was him.
That was Jonathan, huh?
You know, the bike, it's hard to tell that one for sure. And even the liquor store, like, it looks like a young, like a teenager to me, but I can't really make it out, you know.
Video's a lot better in person. And I know it's Jonathan. He was there. So you want me to tell you what he did? drives to Tehachapi. He checks to see if Rob's there. Rob's not there. He leaves. He comes back, and he waits for Rob to come drive to the property.
You're sure?
I'm positive. 100%.
How do you know for sure? I mean,
I have lots of evidence. He goes in the shop, they get in an altercation. He shoots Rob twice. He gets on his bike, his motorcycle, he leaves. He changes clothes, goes to the gas station, gets some water, gets some gas, drives home. Gets home, sees your text messages, calls you, texts you.
what? What do I say to that?
I don't know. Did you guys ever talk about it?
We've talked about it a lot.
I've heard a lot of your conversations.
A lot. I mean, I've just like had this whole, like when it happened, I couldn't believe it. You know, like, so I hear this, and the other detective said, like, you know, I text him right away. I feel like I didn't even, I know that I did let him know what was going on.
With Rob being at work.
Oh, at work, and then after he was murdered.
Uh-huh.
After I found out,
What did Jonathan say?
he couldn't believe it. He was so sorry. Who did this? How could this have happened? Was it? You know what? There was so, like, that all is a true blur, you know? Because it was just like, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. But in my head, there always has been, like, if a affair was to come out, that would look really bad, you know, kind of thing. Really bad, you know, kind of thing. That would look really bad. That would be really just devastating. I mean, so then I was just like, how devastating. And then I was like, on top of that, it was just devastating, period.
As in the perception of people looking in, devastating? At the whole everything?
I definitely didn't want that to be, like, it was already devastating. It was devastating to our family. It was devastating to our friends. It was devastating to the world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just felt like that would be so much more devastating, you know? Everybody looked up to Rob and I together as a team, you know?
So I've heard you talk to Jonathan more than I would have liked to have. I've heard multiple conversations, hundreds. At what point did you realize that Jonathan did this?
I haven't, he's never told me that he has done this
He never told you that?
in words. I didn't want to hear that, you know? I don't want to hear that.
I need you to tell me the truth.
He never told me in words.
Okay, so how has he told you then? If not in words?
Just by behavior, like, not, he hasn't, you know, just behavior, like, we have to, things we kind of have to do, like, detectives, just to kind of keep our affair under wraps because of how, you know, you guys could set him up, could set me up, why, you know, looking for somebody, something. So I'm just like, okay, you know, like, in the moment it made sense, but even like riding over with Patrick, like none, you know, it just in the moment it was just like protective, like oh dang, you know, this situation sucks, you know, it doesn't look good. But as far as and seeing that video
Of him in the grocery store.
but I just watched it over and over and over and over again, and still like my brain wouldn't let me see him. Like it's like,
So he never actually told you that he killed Rob?
no, he never said he killed Rob.
But you think that he had done it in other words or other actions?
Well, just as we're talking, you know, he's like, well, it could be me in that video.
Mm-hmm.
It could be me. I'm like, well, it's not you. It's like, well, they could place me there, me getting gas somewhere else, you know, and putting me, you know, and that's the video that he's showing you. He could be saying this or that, and I didn't know what you were. I didn't know either, like what you knew or what was really going on, you know. And so I was just thinking maybe you would find somebody through, you know, DNA. It's like, okay, how does this DNA stuff work? Okay, good. And I told him DNA, and he's like, good, that's good. They found DNA, that's good. But I mean, he would ask, well, what, you know, we would talk about it. We've talked about all of it in length.
When did he tell you he was nervous about his DNA being at the scene?
No.
No?
Nervous about his DNA being at the scene.
Mm-hmm. At the shop there?
No. He'd said, you know, DNA, like it's not like a for sure. You can, like, you know, DNA can be explained, things like that, you know. So.
I need you to be totally honest with me, okay? Because I know a lot of information about this. So, Rob gets the call Saturday and says he was gonna work for John Justice. He's gonna work for John Justice, and then he goes to leave for work in the morning. Mm-hmm. You and Jonathan both had conversations. Before that, before he went to work, and then after, or when he was gone, when he went to go driving, and you told Jonathan that Rob was working overtime.
Mm-hmm. Had to be up there all day.
Okay. And did he know where the shop was at?
Yeah, I believe, yeah.
How do you believe?
I told him where Rob works. I'm like, oh, it's in Tehachapi. I asked him if he was familiar with Tehachapi ever. Like we've discussed the town and the shop.
You told him where the shop was at? Off the freeway right there?
I'll say yes, I have. Just like, I think I've explained just like times we went up there and we've talked about the town of Tehachapi and the kids and I going up there before, and the building, how the building was, you know.
How it looked. Building up front. Several other buildings towards the back.
I no, not, because I don't even remember buildings in the front and in the back. I just know, yeah, the back part, buildings off the road there, the first.
Did he ask you questions about the building? Like what color is it?
No,
Did you give him the address or anything like that?
I don't know the address. So I take it Jonathan's arrested.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
My question is, what I need to figure out so we can move forward is, how did he know that the shop was there? So you told him. Did you give him the address or anything?
No, I don't know the address.
Okay.
I just kind of explained how it is,
Oh.
you know? And we had talked, yeah, I mean, he inquired on before, like, we talked a lot, you know, so you're like, yeah, Rob's attributes like this, you know, kind of like what he did, and calls he went on, I would tell him.
Okay. So you talked to him in the morning, and
Normal, I mean, it was just normal, like,
right, but I mean, you talked to him and you told him that Rob was going to work, right? Why'd you tell him he was going to work?
just so we could talk and possibly see one another, but talk, probably. I don't know why, because it was like, oh, because Tehachapi's gone longer, you know,
What do you mean?
like they're 12-hour shifts, not 8-hour shifts, and then drive time, and sometimes he'd work over, you know, so it's like it's an all day, he's gone all day, all night, so.
So you told him this so you'd have the opportunity to see Jonathan?
Yeah, if he was available, if it worked out, or to like talk, to be able to know that it's not a time limit, you know, as far as like it's a longer time limit,
Okay.
you know.
Before Rob would get home and you couldn't talk anymore?
Yeah.
Talk anymore?
Yeah. I hate this.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I have to believe that there was more going on than that, just the conversation, like, hey, I want to...
For that day?
Yeah. Like, you know, hey, because you guys have already talked about divorce, you talked about being together. I mean, there has to be some more conversation going on about...
I promised you, Detective, we talked about church. No, it wasn't like I'm going up to Tehachapi to, you know, take care of Robert.
You guys didn't talk about that?
No. I promise you that.
You've lied to me before, though.
I know, I understand. I understand. But no, I can say no. And that's the truth. No, we did not. I want to say we hadn't really talked I want to say that, but once again, I can't be held to anything, because I could have said it was a 10-minute conversation and it was an 80, you know, and I don't know, but I do know that we didn't talk about like how to get to the shop, or, you know, Tehachapi at all.
He already knew how to get to the shop, though, pretty much, you know. Because he had actually gone up there before.
He had?
Uh-huh. He went up there in June and scoped it out. Checked it out, drove by. So he was planning this.
In June?
he drove up there, looked around, checked it out, and was putting his plan together. After the death of Robert,
this is bad.
did you suspect that he was up there snooping around?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So how were your guys' conversations after the death of Robert? The following couple days?
All, you know what? All over the place. Stressful. Hard. There were times where I felt like he wasn't understanding of to what was going on.
He didn't understand.
There were moments I felt that way, you know. But then, you know, there was just so much going on, so much, you know, and so many.
I'm just trying to get an idea of what his demeanor and stuff was like after he murdered Robert. How it changed.
It didn't. It really didn't. I mean, he's been stressed out, for sure.
And that stress has been induced by what?
By detectives and a murder investigation, you know, so we're gonna be, you know, kind of like spotlight because we've had a relationship, you know, and I'm like, gosh, how is this going? But then as I have kind of like, really, I feel like I felt God carrying me through this hard time, you know, and finding strength to just want to take care of my kids and not drinking anymore, not going out, not like this whole different, like from how I was living,
Yeah.
to actually complete opposite.
You know, I think that that Jonathan feels like he was saving you from that. That he was saving you from your lifestyle. And in turn in that, he was, you know, doing good. You know.
Yeah.
So no demeanor change. He was the same person the whole time.
I mean, there were stressful, you know, very stressed and sick to his stomach kind of thing, you know, just because I didn't want this put, you know, I didn't want our affair, you know.
I have to believe that he's stressed because it's much more than the affair. He's not worried about this affair. The affair is no big deal to most people.
See, it's so weird because that's what Patrick was explaining. He was like, this isn't a big deal. I felt like it was so huge. 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 As huge as, I mean, I felt like it was so, you know.
And an affair is not, it's not a big deal. All this stuff that Jonathan's been preparing for is concealing the murder of Robert. All the stuff he's gone through, he's sick to his stomach because he knows the detectives are going to be banging on the door at the fire station, wanting to talk to him. It's not about an affair. This is about him murdering Robert. And he knows that. That's why he's sick to his stomach. Calling in sick, he can't make it to work, getting people to cover his overtime shifts. Because it's not about the affair. You know what I mean? It's about him murdering your husband.
From this point on, Meyer stops asking about background. He starts asking about the day Rob Limon was killed. Every question from here forward is aimed at one thing: what Sabrina told Jonathan and when she told him.
Hey, did he go anywhere?
I listen to what I'm told sometimes.
Okay. I wanted to go back to the part about this place in Tehachapi where Rob worked at. And I know you said that you kind of told him that he works at a place in Tehachapi. It's off the freeway. Why would you tell him that?
We had talked about like what Robert does and just like how, you know, I can't think of, I mean, a couple things like come to my head. I don't know. There was like an RV, they build like motorhomes. I remember that. And he just asked what Rob does up there. I'd come back with all kinds of, you know, Rob would come home with stories and I would share them. And he'd asked a little bit, you know.
Why do you think he was asking?
It was kind of like in conversation. It wasn't weird.
Why would he care though? I mean, you know, I would never ask, you know, why.
It didn't seem weird in the conversation. And I didn't like tell him, you know, an address or anything like that, you know. It's just, I don't know why I gave him like a location, actually.
How did you do that?
Town, if it was like a little out of, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember like exactly how I told him where Robert worked, you know, but it was just in like Tehachapi talk kind of thing, you know. Never. Like an address or anything like that, you know.
I mean, if I was in your shoes, I would, if I was in your whole relationship shoes and everything, and looking for a divorce or whatever, I would give that location to Jonathan if I knew Jonathan had made plans prior to meeting up with Rob. That's why I would have told him, hey, he works in Tehachapi, the building's off the freeway, next to the motorhome place, if I knew they were going to go meet.
He never planned on meeting him at Tehachapi, that he ever told me.
Where were they going to meet at, you know?
Like he wanted to have lunch or like somewhere in town or something like that.
Yeah, because I would go have lunch with some guy that was sleeping with my wife. You know what I mean? That's not rational for people. They just don't do that. It won't go well. It'll end up in an argument and then possibly a death. You know what I mean?
I thought anything of it. Robert didn't want to meet with him and he just wanted to apologize, he said.
Tell me what you think about this.
I'm not, he has a motorcycle, but I'm not too, I know it has writing on the side.
Forgiven.
Yeah. Is that on there? Yeah?
He's changed the appearance a little bit. He's changed the exhaust. And once he started feeling like we were going to come talk to him about this murder, not about an affair, we got video of him getting rid of it.
He doesn't have it anymore?
No, we have it.
I asked him yesterday if his bike was running.
I need you to tell me more. I know you know a lot more than you're telling me. You're not going to be able to just forget about this. This guy murdered your husband in cold blood.
I can't believe it. It's like I can't believe that, you know, like.
So I listened to your guys' conversation yesterday about the motorcycle. In your words, tell me what he told you.
He said it's running, and he hasn't ridden it because it's cold. And since it's been cold, you know, that he'd come out on it when it was still nice. But he hasn't ridden it since it's been cold.
Why would you ask him that? What prompted those questions?
Because of these pictures.
And then what did you start believing? Or thinking?
I just kept watching the video, and I kind of was like, what? I just told him what it looked like, and I was tripping that they had John. I didn't know if this was real. Like it might not be real. These might not be actual videos. Like it might be set up, and I said, why I can't
Why would I set
imagine
you
them
up?
setting us up.
I wouldn't set you up.
Yeah, but in my head, like I'm just tripping. I don't know.
So why would you ask him if the bike was still running?
I don't know why I asked that. Just like, are you riding your motorcycle kind of thing. That's what I meant. Is it even running?
So then you kept watching the video at the store, and he asked you if it looked like him. And what did you say? What did you think?
I thought that was weird.
Yeah. You thought it was weird that he asked you that? What did you think about the picture? The video I sent you, did you think it looked like him? I mean, you've slept with this guy. You know his build, his mannerisms. What do you think?
I just kept watching it, like, in my head, I can't imagine, you know, like, it can't be him, you know, so that's what I've just thought.
So, because he did ask you, well, does it look like me?
Yeah.
And did you think it looked like him?
No, I didn't really think that it looked like him. I didn't see that.
I didn't send it to you.
I didn't think that looked like him at all.
You changed clothes. because there was blood all over his clothes. So he changed.
So the first video was him too?
Walking across the parking lot there.
Or no?
He walked back to the shop. Door was open. Walked in. Rob was getting a Gatorade out of the refrigerator. And they got into a fight.
A fight?
Yeah. A physical fight. A struggle over the gun. And then pow. And then another one.
Robert was so strong. Like, that's why this is so crazy, because it's like...
Very strong. And Jonathan wasn't as strong at the time. He's pretty strong now.
Why?
Why is he strong now? Because he's taking steroids. I can tell from the crime scene photos and stuff that there was a struggle. So Rob's fighting for his life. And this fucking douchebag is killing him. Because he wants you and your kids. He wants to be Rob. He wants to be Rob.
I don't want to believe that, you know? It's not about, it's just, I can't believe that.
It's terrible. It's sad to take these kids' father away from them. Took their father away from them because he wanted to be Rob. Terrible. You read the Bible? David and Bathsheba and Uriah.
He told me about that.
Mm-hmm. Did you read the story?
No, I read...
Psalms
I read-
51.
Yeah, I don't remember. He knows the Bible really good.
Mm-hmm. You know why? Because he was homeschooled. He was at home all the time, and they talked about church and God and stuff.
I didn't think there was any, I mean, just his heart. What's that? Is that a face mask?
It just looks, it's just the exact same helmet. You guys have talked about those helmets too, huh? Because
What?
he has more than one helmet.
That's what he just told me. I didn't know that he had more than one helmet.
He wore
mentioned
this
that.
helmet the day of the murder, and he changed the helmet after that, and he's wearing a different helmet, black, same color. He's trying to change up the appearance of the bike, change the exhaust. need you to tell me everything that you know. Because you know a lot more than I think that we're talking about. This guy killed your husband. Took Robbie and Leanna's father away from them. Their good father. He was a great dad. Went to the funeral, saw the funeral. Everything. Everybody loved that guy. He was a good dad. Probably a better dad than I am. I love my work too much. I don't get to see my daughter. So he's probably a better dad than I am. Or was. And Jonathan took him from them. You know what I mean? It's sad. I need you to tell me more.
What do you want me to
Everything. I want you to tell me everything.
I just was living in a fairy tale with Jonathan, and this is, I can't believe it. What's that stuff?
This is just some of the stuff that I've been living with for the last while. I just wanted to I was just looking for some stuff I wanted to talk to you about. But I don't see anything there that I really want to go over. Yep.
You have his motorcycle, huh? So crazy. I thought that
Did you know he was changing the appearance of the motorcycle?
no, I know he'd worked on his bike, but not like he kept the wording on there.
Forgiven? Why do you think that it's crazy that we have the motorcycle? What makes that, I mean...
Just, he doesn't know you have it, or he knows you have it.
He knows
didn't.
now.
Oh, I thought you had it like before and he didn't tell me or something, I don't know.
Do you think he's lying to you about the motorcycle?
I don't know. I mean,
we need to talk about your conversations you've had with him about, at any point in time, did you have any indication that he was involved? I need to know. This is, you have to totally be honest with me.
yeah. I mean, the way that we talk is like, you know, God has a purpose for us, and this kind of just plays into the purpose. I feel like it just felt like that brain wouldn't let me process that completely, like the whole thought, like all the way through. It just that might not make any sense, but it was almost like that couldn't be, that wasn't real, that wasn't, kind of thing. Like our affair was more like, and it felt amplified. It felt like it seriously, like that's what it went to, is an affair. And that's how I really felt like that. Like I felt like, oh my gosh, and like when you're saying the affair is the least.
It would be important. Anything else? No? What's your social security number?
557-87-0495.
And what city were you born in?
Barstow.
You were born in Barstow?
I don't want to say it. This is me below is from Goodwick Street, about the time of the murder. So this is
3 minutes after the murder occurred.
after.
That's Jonathan driving away from the scene. From the place on Goodrick, where the shop is at,
That's good. Okay.
takes an hour to get to the pilot. And this is 1 hour later. On August, I think it was the 8th, Jonathan, he bought these clothes he was wearing at a Goodwill in San Bernardino. Shoes, pants, jacket, shirt. We found the receipt. My partners are talking to Jonathan right now. I don't know what he's telling them. So I told my partner that once he gets done talking to her, like, at a point where you take a break, to come in and kind of release some information so we can figure out what he's saying. I don't know exactly what he's telling him. He told him he had a bunch of stuff to tell him though, so I can't imagine what he's telling him.
I have no idea.
That was the first time in this interrogation Detective Meyer said out loud, on tape, what he believed happened. He shoots Rob, twice. He did not accuse Sabrina of pulling the trigger. He accused her boyfriend. And he watched to see what Sabrina would do with it. What she did was say, "I don't know."
Well, he's telling him this.
Huh?
Is he telling him?
I don't know. He's gonna come in and talk to me. He'll come in and talk to us real quick. Let us know exactly what is going on. I mean, I can't imagine that. It's hard for me to imagine that, honestly, that you didn't know that this was going on. You know what I mean? With all this talk on the phones in your guys' house, getting a burner phone, it's hard for me to believe that you didn't have knowledge of it. You didn't know that you couldn't have talked about it. I mean, it's yeah. I know you're saying. you're saying that you don't know that you didn't know he was doing this, but it's very hard to believe. You know what I mean?
I understand that it would be, and now that I'm looking at it outside of, you know,
What I'm
stepping
looking
away,
at,
yeah,
right?
where you're looking at, and talking to Patrick, like I saw it, like, oh my gosh, you know. Yeah, I mean,
What do you think's gonna happen to you right now?
I'm going to jail.
I mean, with all this, everything. I mean, do you think that you're gonna be able to see your kids again?
I hope so. I can't. This is detective. It's a nightmare. Yeah. I hate this. Like you said, I gave him I told him where Robert worked, and
How do you think Robert felt? He was bomb rushed by somebody, and this guy's got a gun in his hand. You know what I mean? Can you imagine? I thought about it a lot. Like, what was going through his mind? Was his heart racing? He's scared. He's thinking about his kids, his wife. This guy's trying to murder him. For what? So he could have his life. This guy wanted Robert's life. And this guy murders him in cold blood. 12 is like, how do you think Robert felt? I mean, he had to be fucking scared. You know what I mean?
I didn't even I just wanted to know if he suffered. You said he didn't suffer. I didn't know details of.
I mean, I really don't know. I know that where you got shot at was horrible. But you don't know what he was going through. 1 second, everything is cool. You're bending down, getting a Gatorade or water. Next second, you're fighting for your life. Fighting for your life. This guy's gonna fucking kill you.
He was struggling.
Yeah, they're fighting over the gun. And then pow, gun goes off. And then what are you thinking? You start thinking about your life. You know? Your kids and all this shit. You know what I mean? Nobody knows what Rob was thinking, but we can speculate, you know? He's thinking, oh my god, I gotta get this gun from this guy. You know what I mean? Give me something. Give me something that's good. I need to know. I need some information.
You have all the information right here. You have it all.
But you can see from my point of view that I don't have all the information. You know what I mean? This looks horrible.
I know it does.
This guy gets fucking killed.
I know it
And
does, Detective. I hate it. I hate it.
yeah, this guy murders him because he wants his life. That's the bottom line. This guy wants his life.
And I gave him the
You
access.
You did. You told him where your husband worked at. When he would be working. Where the shop was. What days he worked. And you told him that he was going to be gone. You guys could maybe hook up. He had other plans. He wasn't planning on hooking up with you. He was planning on taking that stroll to Tehachapi like he had done before. You know? He had it planned out. He had it timed out. He knew how long it would take. He knew how much gas he would need. He paid cash. Oh, come on. He paid cash for the the stuff he bought because he knew. This is one of my partners, Detective Brewer.
How you doing? I'm Kevin Brewer.
Hi, Kevin.
He was talking with Jonathan.
Yeah,
What Meyer does now, at the 2-hour 15-minute mark of this interrogation, is the reason the previous 2 hours mattered. He has kept the wiretap secret this whole time. He has let Sabrina explain the affair, the phone number, the meeting, the day of the murder. And now, only now, he tells her he has been listening the whole time.
yeah, I've been talking to Robert.
Jonathan.
I'm sorry, Jonathan. And, I got a couple of questions for you.
Okay.
You can solve, so.
So he is he's made this plan. So you think that, I mean, you tell him that, hey, Robert's gonna be gone, he's gonna be at work, it's gonna be a 12-hour shift, maybe we can come over, we can hang out, and he's thinking, today's the day. I'm gonna go take that drive, and I'm gonna go take care of business so I can be with her, and I can have her and her family, her kids. The saddest thing is for the kids. It's horrible. Because they lost their dad. And he was a good dad.
I know, Randall. I know. I know. I know.
Terrible.
And it's terrible. It's terrible. And it's my fault.
Sabrina, after talking to Jonathan and looking at this, I mean, I helped him with this case for a long time. It looks like there's two people involved, not just you. I don't think you pulled the trigger, did you?
No.
Jonathan did. When did he tell you that it was him in that video?
Yesterday.
When?
Yesterday.
He didn't tell you before that?
No.
What did you think
Okay.
when he told you that's him in the video?
Well, he hadn't seen the video, but he said it could be me. He said
What? How
We
could that be? I'm confused here.
we've just talked a bunch about, he's just said that, you know, detectives can say and do anything that they want.
Did you ask him how that could be him in that video?
I did.
What did he say?
He said that it could be a picture of him at another gas station.
Did you ask him what he was doing in that gas station? Halfway to where your husband was murdered?
He, from what how I took it, was like another gas station, another place, you know. And then I said, why would they want to do that?
Okay.
Why would they want to put?
Did you see the picture of Jonathan on the motorcycle?
Yeah, it's right there.
Do you have any trouble figuring out that's Jonathan? Because frankly, everybody else that knows him, that's seen it, I mean, you have to know that we floated that to them, have all had no problem with it. And I think you would know him more than any of them, really.
Yeah.
You have any problem with that, picking that out as Jonathan?
No.
Do you know anybody else that looks like that has a motorcycle like that would have a reason to kill your husband?
No.
Who else could it be?
No, that's what I was hoping. Someone else.
And frankly, Sabrina, I've sit on a lot of wiretaps, and I know we've been listening to you
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
I've sit on a bunch of the 33 years I've been doing this. And I can tell you that the conversation between you two is not covering up an affair.
Well, that's what I've.
You've already told people about your affair long before this. There was no reason to keep this a secret. Keep it from who?
Oh, I haven't told anybody.
Yes,
about
you
it.
have.
Who did I tell?
You've told people, and so has Jonathan. What? At what
Said
point,
about knowing
at
him,
what
but
point
not.
did you think we knew about Jonathan? How do you think we found out about Jonathan?
Phone records.
From what?
From phone records.
No, we have to have probable cause to get search warrants to get the phone records.
I didn't know.
He told people about you. He's been told to stay away from you, and you know that. We've been listening.
The second detective, Meyer's partner, has just told Sabrina 3 things in under a minute. He does not think she pulled the trigger. He knows Jonathan is on the video, and he has heard every phone call. Watch Sabrina's response to all 3 combined. She says, "I was hoping for someone else." Not, "It wasn't him." Not, "You're wrong." Hoping.
Sabrina, after talking to Jonathan and looking at this, I mean, I helped him with this case for a long time. It looks like there's 2 people involved, not just you. I don't think you pulled the trigger, did you?
No.
Jonathan did. When did he tell you that it was him in that video?
Yesterday.
When?
Yesterday.
He didn't tell you before that?
No.
What did you think
Okay.
when he told you that's him in the video?
Well, he hadn't seen the video, but he said it could be me. He said
How
We were-
could that be? I'm confused here.
we've just talked a bunch about, he's just said that, detectives can say and do anything that they want.
Did you ask him how that could be him in that video?
I did.
What did he say?
He said that it could be a picture of him at another gas station.
Did you ask him what he was doing in that gas station? Halfway to where your husband was murdered?
From what how I took it was like another gas station, another place, And then I said, why would they want to do that?
Okay.
Why would they want to put?
Did you see the picture of Jonathan on the motorcycle?
Yeah, it's right there.
Do you have any trouble figuring out that's Jonathan? Because frankly, everybody else that knows him, that's seen it, I mean, you have to know that we floated that to them. Have all had no problem with it. And I think you would know him more than any of them, really.
Yeah.
You have any problem with that, picking that out as Jonathan?
No.
Do you know anybody else that looks like that has a motorcycle like that would have a reason to kill your husband?
No.
Who else could it be?
No, that's what I was hoping. Someone else.
And frankly, Sabrina, I've sit on a lot of wiretaps, and I know we've been listening to you
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
I've sit on a bunch of the 33 years I've been doing this. And I can tell you that the conversation between you 2 is not covering up an affair.
Well, that's what I've.
You've already told people about your affair long before this. There was no reason to keep this a secret. Keep it from who?
Oh, I haven't told anybody.
Yes, you have.
Who did I tell?
You've told people, and so has Jonathan. What? At what
Said
point,
about knowing
at
him,
what
but
point
not.
did you think we knew about Jonathan? How do you think we found out about Jonathan?
Phone records.
From what?
From phone records.
No, we have to have probable cause to get search warrants to get the phone records.
I didn't know.
He told people about you. He's been told to stay away from you, and you know that. We've been listening to you guys for a while, Sabrina. And I know Detective Meyer is trying his best to get you to tell us the truth. And you have been doing that. Jonathan was arrested the same time you were. We just got him done and got him to jail. And there's a great many questions that we need to have you answer for us. Okay?
Okay.
Tell me what I think when your secret boyfriend finds out exactly where your husband is in a different county, 2.5 hours away, drives up here and kills him. What do I think? How in the world would he find out where that place is? I couldn't even find it when they sent us there.
That's my fault.
Absolutely. What's it look like to me?
I know.
Let me tell you what it'll look like to a jury. This is all I...
David and Bathsheba, is the Old Testament story of a king who takes another man's wife and has the husband sent to the front line of a war to be killed. The detective just accused Sabrina of playing Bathsheba to Jonathan's David, of casting her marriage into Scripture so that murder becomes destiny. Sabrina's response is, "I don't know that story." She does not deny agreeing with Jonathan that it is their story. She denies knowing what the story is.
Worried about that. I know it doesn't look bad. I know that it looks bad, but
I think it's past look bad.
yeah, I get it.
It looked bad for a while and then it got bad because we've got other stuff that you have to know. We can't tell you all of this. This thing's got to get prosecuted, okay? But it looked bad for a while and then it just got bad. And I think it's because it is bad,
Yeah,
okay?
it's bad.
All we talk about is this, we have to stop sinning and you guys are still together. I'm confused with these calls, I really am. Do you think God meant for you and Jonathan to be together? Is that what you guys are talking about?
That's
When you're praying that the DNA doesn't let us find out? Would you want me to read that one to you?
I don't.
You're praying that the DNA doesn't let us find out. Find out what? If his DNA is at the scene of the murder, what am I going to find out? That you two were laying around together? I'm going to find out that Jonathan killed him. We already knew that. We had those motorcycle pictures long before you know it. Okay? When we had somebody call us and say, you need to look at this guy right here, months ago, not weeks. Because he's calling us up, crying, trying to apologize for something, and we haven't figured out what he did. But he keeps crying and apologizing. Okay?
Yeah. I get it.
Where's his tailpipe?
I have no idea.
He didn't tell you what he did with his tailpipe?
No, I didn't even know that he.
You notice he's got a different pipe on the bike?
Louder. The exhaust is louder, it sounds louder.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff. I just know the writing on the bike. That was all I know. The pipes and stuff.
Yesterday, when I told you that the secret witness tip came in and we had a John, how come you gave me two different John's names?
Because that was John. Those were the Johns that Rob worked with.
Why wouldn't you just tell me then? I mean, you had to know that shit's hitting the fan.
Yeah, I felt like, oh, Jonathan, okay. Well,
Why wouldn't you tell me?
because
Here's the deal. It's not just about an affair. Your husband was murdered. That's more important than this freaking affair you guys were having. You know what I mean? Here's another thing. I can tell you, I don't care where the hell I was at. Day, night, whatever. If my wife was murdered, I would be standing at that fucking scene, finding out why and what. Give me some answers now. And you didn't even come out there.
they told us that we weren't allowed to.
I don't care if they told me I couldn't go out there. I would be there, standing there, saying,
Oh, I wanted
tell
to.
me something. You didn't. I don't care if they told me I couldn't. You're going to tell me that I can't drive to fucking Tehachapi? It's a free world. I'm going to go where I want to go. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to talk to whoever and find out what's going on. That's suspicious to me too. I mean, I know you're having an affair. You're living two.
Oh, I wanted to come up to.
You're living two different lives and stuff, like you said.
They said it was all roped off and they won't let anybody in.
Oh, I don't care. I would have showed up and been getting my way to that crime scene to find out what the hell happened to my wife.
Yeah.
God has a purpose. Sees all, he does. Knows all, he does. He has a purpose for us in our marriage. He even knew that Rob was going to get killed. When he told you that's him in the video, why were you not burning his phone up to tell you, yeah, I found out who killed my husband?
I mean, he said it looked like him.
Because your relationship with Jonathan is more important than your husband was.
No.
You should have been
No.
tearing his phone up. Jonathan just told me that's him in the video, okay? Why didn't we get that call?
I asked him, I said, what
Well, you don't need to ask him anything. Tell me why you didn't call us.
Because he said it could have been planted, like it could have
No,
been.
there's no could have. Okay, that's not. It's a glass of water. It's not a house. It's not a car. I can't tell you that. Well, that could be a chair. It's a glass of water. That could be me in the video. What do you mean? It could be you. It either is or is not. And if he's in the video, that's the video of the suspect. We all know that. You know that, don't you?
And I
That
tried
guy in
to,
that video walked into the place where your husband was and killed him and then ran off. And he tells you that could be me in the video. What did you think? I'm more than confused here, Sabrina. I'm really telling you. I think you're flat in the middle of this murder. I think you set your husband up and had him killed by Jonathan so you two could be together.
No.
And I can tell you that's not going to happen, ever.
Yeah,
Okay? You need to get that through your head now. You are not going to be together. He's going to end up going to prison for the rest of his life. And I've got some serious doubts about you. Okay?
Okay, understood.
There's no reason to tell your boyfriend exactly where your husband is working. Absolutely none. Right down to the building. What's the purpose?
Sabrina Limon just told a homicide detective that God knew her husband was going to be killed. She did it without a pause, without a break in tone. This is the belief system Jonathan Hearn has been feeding her for weeks on wiretapped calls the detective has been listening to. Meyer's partner is not surprised. He knew this was coming. He has heard it before, in her own voice.
Don't tell me yesterday again.
He never
Yes, he
came
did.
out and
Yes, he
said.
did. Yes, he did. You guys are doing nothing but hiding this thing the whole time. Yes, he did.
No,
Well, what are you trying to hide?
I know, okay, I know it doesn't look good.
No. There's a difference between doesn't look good and absolutely is not good. This is absolutely not good.
I understand that,
Okay?
I understand that. He never told me that he was going up there that day. I had told him where Robert.
Why? We're still back to that one, and I'm still sitting here waiting for a reason why you would tell Jonathan where your husband is. Are you going to come up with some answer between now and trial time?
They're gonna see each other. So I could talk to him.
About what?
That's why,
About what? What's he going to say? I got to know.
you know,
I'm sending my boyfriend to talk to my husband.
he never said he was
What
going
did you
to
think
see
he
him.
was going to do if he's asking about where Rob's at?
He didn't ask that day.
Why did you tell him?
I told him like prior in conversations.
Why?
He'd asked,
What?
I believe,
I just-
about Tehachapi. Like we just talked about like what Rob did, and we just talked
You
about
didn't know what
everything.
Rob did?
Yeah, but up in Tehachapi as a responder.
Okay, so why is it important for anybody in the world, really, to know exactly where Rob's at?
Well, from your now on the other side, I don't know. He shouldn't have, and I shouldn't have it.
When you told him exactly where Rob was at, and Rob ends up getting killed, did you put two and two together at all?
Not at first. I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I heard. I couldn't believe that it happened. I didn't know what happened. I didn't know why.
You didn't figure out, gee, I just told Jonathan, who wants to be with me forever and does not want me to be with my husband,
I'm back in a second, Ken.
exactly where my husband's at, and now my husband gets killed in the middle of a Sunday afternoon in broad daylight.
No, I didn't.
It didn't dawn on you?
I didn't think of him. No, I didn't. I thought, I couldn't believe Rob was gone, and I thought about our affair, and I felt, I can't describe how I felt.
Okay, tell me anybody else in the world that have a reason, besides Jonathan, to kill your husband. Anybody. Does he owe money? Is he in the Russian mafia? You know, has he beat up people, alleged rapists or anything? Anything at all. So who has the only motive that you know of to kill your husband?
The only thing I thought it was,
What did Jonathan have to gain if he kills Rob? What's the prize? You. Correct? And he has you all to himself. Is that correct?
yeah. I see.
And he gets killed after you tell him where he's at, and you don't put it together. I don't think you're that dumb, Sabrina. I really don't. No one's going to. They were back to you have him killed.
No.
Because if you don't suspect it, and at some point Jonathan's got to tell you. See? Did you ask him, hey Jonathan, don't you think it's odd that after I tell you where he's at, somebody goes over there and kills him? For no apparent reason?
I did say.
And?
I did have.
And?
I did
What was
have
the answer?
questions.
What did he say? Oh, no, I didn't?
Yeah, he just said that's crazy.
And you believe him? Enough to stay with him, you did. Must make future plans. Start talking about how you're going to raise Rob's children with him.
I know, Kevin. I know. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Jonathan ever tell you about the handguns he owns? How many?
I just knew that he had one gun.
Talk about a 45 that he owned? 45 caliber?
I didn't know what kind it was.
And he's got one and it's missing. Nobody can find it. Wonder where that's at. Same caliber used to kill your husband. The only thing worse than keeping the murder weapon is getting rid of it when it's registered to you. Not being able to tell us where it's at. Oops, I lost it. Oops, I don't know where it's at. Oh, I forgot where I put it.
That's what he said.
You know what I mean? You know how stupid that sounds? But seriously, that's almost as believable as I told him exactly where he was at, and he ends up dead in that spot, and I don't think this guy killed him. Did you tell anybody else exactly where Rob was at that day?
Well, yeah, I mean, being in Tehachapi, you know. I didn't tell Jonathan, like, directions that day. It was prior, like we talked about.
How did he find him?
Months. It was months. I'd say probably months prior. And I want to remember how exactly our conversation went.
So how does Jonathan know he's there that day?
I had told him.
You told him Jonathan's at Tehachapi.
No, Robert is in
Robert's in Tehachapi, working. And that day he gets murdered, and you don't figure that out.
I had talked to Jonathan.
And you don't bother to tell him or anyone else, by the way, the day my husband is murdered, I told my boyfriend where he was. What's it sound like? What's it gonna sound like, Sabrina?
I understand that.
I can go on and on with this thing, and that's gonna happen at the trial, but I'm not going on much longer. The rest of this you're gonna hear later, and probably not gonna wish you had, ever. Okay? If you didn't have any part of this thing, and we all think you did, or you wouldn't be here, you need to start figuring out how to convince us that you didn't now. I told you, if he did something stupid, and you didn't know he did it, and you had nothing to do with planning it, okay? And he says, sorry, honey, I had to do this for us to be together. Whatever he did, whatever he told you, you need to tell us now.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand. Just
If you're going to stick to this, yesterday he finally told me he killed my husband, basically.
Well, these conversations have been the same, since.
No, they haven't. No, they've changed drastically all the time. The only major theme is God wants you two to be together, according to him. And God sees everything and knows everything. What did God see the day Rob got killed? Same thing we saw. His motorcycle, Jonathan's motorcycle leaving the crime scene. Okay? I mean, who does he think he's fooling? Who are you guys fooling here? I don't get it.
It is my fault for telling Jonathan where Robert was that day. That is the closest Sabrina Limon comes, in nearly 3 hours, to admitting she was part of what happened. She frames it as a mistake, telling Jonathan the location, as though it were a slip in conversation. Not a plan, not a coordination. A slip. Meyer's partner is not accepting the framing. He returns immediately to what Rob and Rob's children did not deserve.
He tells you that you and him are David and Bathsheba's story and you agree?
I didn't.
You'll hear that again, trust me. That one was almost unbelievable for me, because that's exactly what's happened. Exactly. You know, for us to be together, one spouse has got to be out of the picture permanently. Now, why divorce was an option, I don't know.
Divorce would have been an option for me, not murder.
Well, then why did it get to this?
I
Was it not an option and that didn't go over well with Jonathan? That's what it sounds like. I've had a few of those. See, if you won't divorce him, I'll get rid of him for you.
no.
No? I think yes.
I understand.
But if you won't divorce him, then Jonathan's got to go to Plan B. Doesn't he? That means Jonathan's got to know where he's at. And he got that out of you. And frankly, I could sit here for 2 or 3 hours and I don't think you'd ever explain that one. There's only one explanation for that one. It's just exactly what I'm thinking. What he's thinking. What everybody else outside this room's thinking. Okay? Told him exactly where to go. And went up there and did exactly what you guys planned to do. Killed your husband. Shot him straight in the face. Okay? And you tell me what Rob done to deserve that. Tell me what Rob's children done to have their dad taken away by your boyfriend. Tell me. What did they do? And who suffers? Huh?
Yeah.
You don't. They do. Their whole life. They want their dad back. And who took them? And who helped them take it? What are they going to think? Trust me, Sabrina, I've never talked to anybody yet that thought they wouldn't get away with it, or you wouldn't do it. Everybody does. It's all well planned, all of it.
Yeah.
All of the interviews are rehearsed on the phone with him. Yeah, we listened to them. They were impressive. I'm going to tell you exactly what to say and not say, and we're going to Google DNA and Google all this stuff to make sure that we're not giving them enough information to find out. See? But that stuff we already knew. Now, before this thing comes to an end, okay, I'm going to ask you one more time. Did Jonathan tell you he killed your husband?
He never told me that. To Meyer, it just all led up to all the things that he'd said. Led up to that. All the conversations, just not specifically, I shot Rob. He never said that.
What conversations leading up to what? The murder?
No, not the murder. No, that conversation that day was normal. Besides,
So you're talking about the conversations that happened
after the murder,
and what were you guys talking about?
just the murder.
So,
Hi.
Hello. I think that a decision needs to be made right now. You requested this. You want to talk to Randall. We're 4 hours into this, and you haven't said anything different to him than what you told me. If you have something you need to say, right now's the time, because otherwise I'm ready to cut this off.
Well, I think you guys, I mean,
You think what?
everything that has been said has been evidence that is clear. And it's my fault for telling Jonathan where Robert was that day.
And it most certainly is. It is your fault.
I know.
But I mean, for the last 4 hours, Detective Myers told you that you're holding on to something. There's something that you know that you're not telling us. Right now, I would have more respect if you said, hey, I ain't gonna say anything to you. You don't like me. I know you don't like me. I'm good with that. You think I'm the mean guy. I get accused of it all the time. But it's time to shit or get off the pot.
Well,
I mean, okay, let me ask you this. You wanted to speak to him.
Yeah.
What did you want to tell him that was so different than what you told me already?
I don't know, just,
Prolong the inevitable? Sitting in a jail cell?
no. Wanted you at fault.
We've established that. And I'm not here to kick you in the teeth. Robert is dead because of you. Make no mistakes about that. That is something that you are going to have to live with for the rest of your life. That is something that your children are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. Because no matter what happens now, little Robbie's going to know that Jonathan killed his dad. I told you down there in Boron, I could care less about you.
4 hours and 40 minutes of interrogation. 5 hours in total with the deputies who picked her up. And, in the detective's words, she managed to tell them nothing. She is placed in handcuffs on camera and told the charge, conspiracy to commit murder, accessory to murder.
I could care less about you. I care about your kids. They didn't ask for this. You're a grown woman and you make decisions. And why you would tell the man, he's not a man, he's a coward. He's a scumbag. Why you would tell the guy that you're sharing a bed with where your husband works, beyond me. If you don't have anything for us, I think we need to get you to jail.
Okay.
I'll take that as a yes, I do not have anything to tell you. Is that fair? Is that pretty fair?
I said everything that we, Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you told him the same thing that you told me, only I wasn't patient for 4 hours. I was kind of trying to move it along after about an hour of listening to you tell me nothing. He's a lot nicer than me, a lot more patient. So what I need you to do is I need you to stand up and turn around. Obviously, since you were already brought down here once before, you were told what you're under arrest for, correct?
Yes.
For conspiracy to commit murder and accessory to murder? Okay. Have a seat.
4 hours and 40 minutes.
So 5 hours, you managed to tell us nothing. You got a second, sir?
Yep.
Before we walk you out, we needed you to sign one of those cards. We didn't have you sign one of those cards that you put your fingerprints on, so the lady's coming over here so you can sign those.
Okay. Well, Detective, if Jonathan did it, and you guys have all the evidence,
I'll get a, what's your name, brother?
You know what, when you sign the card, you sign this one twice. I need you to sign that one.
oh, okay, I mean,
Okay.
they have me in handcuffs.
Oh, okay. He's gonna.
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
I wanted to bring this card over so you could see that it's your signature.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
What was your question?
Well, I just don't understand. I mean, if you guys have all the evidence and it's not like he was gonna confess it to me. If he did that, you know, he's not gonna say those words to me. I didn't know that he was going up to Tehachapi that day. And prior, I had told him where Robert had worked. In conversation that we had. I didn't know he was going up to Tehachapi that day.
He did. See, you know, you keep saying that you can't
I
believe it.
know, okay, I get it,
Do you?
yeah. I'm going to.
You are? Why is that?
Because that's what happened.
This whole time, I guess people react differently to stuff. This whole time, you find yourself not being able to believe it. But not once have you showed any anger or disgust, especially since you inserted him into your children's lives. That bothers me. You know, it's not too often I get to see good things at work. But when I saw that video of your son, it impacted me. And through all this, your children really haven't been a concern to you. It's unfortunate because they definitely deserve better than what you're giving them. And I hope they get it. I hope they do. They deserve a lot more than what they're getting.
They do, they're great kids.
I wish I would have known them. Definitely under different circumstances. You know? Well, I'm spinning my wheels. Let's get you to jail.
Sabrina Limon was booked into the Kern County Jail that evening on charges of conspiracy to commit murder and accessory to murder. She was later charged with first-degree murder. Jonathan Hearn was arrested at the same time, and after months of holding out, took a plea deal in exchange for testifying against Sabrina, pleading guilty to voluntary manslaughter and agreeing to a 25-year sentence. On the stand at Sabrina's trial, he told the jury he had shot Robert Limon inside the BNSF Tehachapi shop after struggling with him over the gun, and that Sabrina had told him, in advance and repeatedly, where Rob would be. In September 2017, nearly 3 years after the interrogation you just watched, a Kern County jury found Sabrina Limon guilty on every count: first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, solicitation of murder, 2 counts of poisoning her husband, because before the plan to shoot Rob, there had been an attempt to poison him with antifreeze that failed. She was sentenced to life in state prison. She is serving that sentence today. Rob Limon's 2 children were raised by Rob's family. Detective Meyer's partner told Sabrina, on tape, that little Robbie was going to grow up knowing Jonathan killed his dad. He was not wrong. That is exactly what happened. If this is the kind of case breakdown you want more of, verbatim interrogation, no theory, no filler, subscribing means you will see the next one.